In history, there are times when the world holds its breath, when everything we know falls apart and a hidden enemy appears from the shadows to change everything. Not a rival king, not a natural disaster, but something much worse. A never-ending wave of destruction that swept across the ancient world, leaving only ashes and questions. Who were these ghost-like invaders? How did they manage to break down an entire global system, pushing humanity into hundreds of years of darkness? To really understand how big this disaster was, we first need to see how amazing the world was before it. From the rich lands of the Nile River to the sunny coasts of Greece, from the mountains of Turkey to the plains of Mesopotamia, big empires were thriving. The Egyptians, with their giant temples and golden kings, had tons of wealth. The Hittites, who were experts at using iron and chariots in war, ruled over Turkey. The Mycenaeans, famous for their palaces and strong ships, controlled the Greek seas. But underneath all this shine, problems were starting to appear. And then, the first hints of a new danger started to show up from the edges of the world. Old Egyptian writings, especially the Merneptah stelae from around 1208 BCE, talk about a group of foreign invaders. They were called the peoples of the sea. These weren't just raiders, they were moving entire families, their belongings, and their endless hunger for new lands. The old empires, used to normal wars, were not ready for this new kind of enemy. Then, around 1200 BCE, the whispers turned into a loud roar. The full force of the Sea People's movement hit the ancient world like a giant wave. Cities burned, often violently, and were never rebuilt. Ugarit, a busy port city in today's Syria, was completely destroyed. Its last clay tablets, baked hard in the fire that swallowed the city, talk about desperate calls for help, ships being attacked, and an enemy that came like locusts. The mighty Hittite Empire, which once fought with Egypt, simply disappeared. An empire that had stood for 500 years was erased from the map in less than a generation. The Mycenaean civilization in Greece, with its strong palaces and detailed government, fell into a dark age that would last for hundreds of years. Even Egypt, the strongest of the Bronze Age powers, was almost destroyed. So who really were these mysterious sea peoples?